as we are, so wan with care, find we a time for frighted peace to pant, and breathe short-winded accents of new broils to be commenced in strands of far remote. No more the thirsty entrance of this soil shall daub her lips with her own children's blood, nor trenching more channel her fields, nor bruise her flowerets with the armed hooves of hostile paces. Those opposed eyes, which, like the meteors of a troubled heaven, all of one nature, of one substance bred, did lately meet in this intestine shock and furious close of civil butchery, shall now in mutual well-beseeming ranks march all one way and be no more opposed against acquaintance, kindred, and allies. The edge of war, like an ill-sheeted knife, shall no more cut his master. Therefore, friends, as far as to the sepulchre of Christ, forthwith a power of English shall be levied. But this our purpose now is 12-month old, and bootless 'tis to tell you we will go. Therefore we meet not now. Then let me hear of you, my gentle cousin Westmoreland, what yesternight the council did decree in forwarding this dear expedient.
My liege, this haste was hot in question, and many limits of the charge set down but yesternight, when all athwart there came a post from Wales, loaded with heavy news, whose worst was that the noble Mortimer, leading them in Hertfordshire against the irregular and wild Glendower, was by the rude hands of that Welshman taken, 1,000 of his people butchered, upon whose dead corpse there was such misuse by those Welshwomen done, as may not be without much shame retold or spoken of.
It seems then that the tidings of this broil break off our business for the Holy Land.
This mass other did, my gracious lord, for more uneven unwelcome news came from the north, and thus did in port. On Holy Rood Day, the gallant Hotspur there, the young Harry Percy, and brave Archibald, that ever valiant and proven Scot, their homes did met, where they did spend a sad and bloody hour, uncertain of the issue anyway.
Here is a dear, a true, industrious friend, Sir Walter Blunt, new lighted from his force, stained with the variation of each soil betwixt that Holman and this seat of ours. And he hath brought us smooth and welcome news. The Earl of Douglas is discomfited. 10,000 bold Scots, 22 knights, balked in their own blood, did Sir Walter see on Holman's day. Of prisoners, Hotspur took Mordache, the Earl of Fife, an eldest son to beaten Douglas. The Earl of Athol, Mentieth, Angus, and of Murray. And is this not an honorable spoil, a gallant prize, a cousin, is it not?
In faith, it is a conquest for a prince to boast of.
Yea, there thou makes me sad, and makes me sin in envy, that my Lord Northumberland should be the father to so blessed a son that is the theme of honor's tongue, whilst I, by looking on the praise of him, see riot and dishonor stain the brow of my young Harry. But that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes our children where they lay, and called mine Percy his Plantagenet, then would I have his Harry and he mine. But let him from my thoughts. What think you, coz, of this young Percy's pride? The prisoners to his own use he keeps, and since being word I shall have none but Mordache, Earl of Fife.
This is his uncle's teaching. This is Worcester, malevolent to you in all aspects, which makes him prune himself and bristle up the crest of youth against your dignity.
But I have sent for him to answer this, and for this cause awhile we must neglect our holy purpose to Jerusalem. Cousin, on Wednesday next our council we will hold at Windsor, so inform the lords. But come yourself with speed to us again, for more is to be said and to be done than out of anger can be uttered.
I will, my liege.
time of day, unless hours were cups of sack, clocks, the tongues of bards, and the blessed sun himself, a fair, hot wench in flame-colored taffeta. I see no reason why thou shouldst be so superfluous as to demand the time of day.
Oh, indeed, you come near me now, Hal, for we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus. And I prithee, sweet wife, when thou art king, as God save thy grace, majesty, I should say, for grace thou wilt have none.
What?
No, by my troth, not so much as will serve to promote to an egg and butter.
How then?
Come, roundly.
Roundly.
Marry then, sweet wife, when thou art king, let not us that are squires of the night's body be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon. And let men, say we, be men of good government, being governed, as the sea is, by our noble and chaste mistress the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, and it holds well too, for the fortunes of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea, being governed, as the sea is, by the moon.
Oh, by the Lord, thou sayest true, and is not my hostess of the tavern most sweet wench?
As the honey of Hibla, my old lad in the castle.
Thou hast called her to reckoning many a time and all.
Well, did I ever call for thee to pay thy part?
No, I'll give thee thy due. Thou hast paid all there.
Yea, and elsewhere, so far as my coin would stretch, and where it would not, I have used my credits.
Yea, and so used it, that were it not here apparent that thou art heir apparent. Oh, but I prithee, sweet wag, shall there be gallows standing in England when thou art king, and resolution thus fogged as it is, with the rusty curb of old Father Antic the law? Do not thou, when thou art king, hang thee.
Oh no, thou shalt.
Shall I? Oh, rare, by the Lord! I'll make a brave judge.
Oh, thou judgest false already. I mean that thou shalt have the hanging of the thieves, and so become a rare hangman.
Well, now, well. And in some sort, it jumps with my humor as well as waiting in a court, I can tell you. An old lord of the council raising me in the street the other day about you, sir. But I marked him not. And yet he talked very wisely. But I regarded him not. And yet he talked wisely, and in the street too.
Oh, well, that is well. For wisdom cries out in the streets, and no man regards it.
Oh, thou hast a damnable iteration, and art indeed able to corrupt a saint. Thou hast done much harm upon me, Hal, but I forgive thee for it. Before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now am I, or if a man should speak truly, little better than one of the wicked. I must give over this life. And I will give it over, by the Lord. And I do not, I'm a villain.
Where shall we take a post tomorrow, Jack?
But that where thou wilt, lad, I'll make one. What, and I do not call me a villain and baffle me.
I see a good amendment of life in thee, from praying to purse-taking.
Why, 'tis my vocation, Hal, 'tis my vocation. 'Tis no sin for a man to labor in his vocation. Poets, thou shalt know, if Gad shall have said a match. Oh, if men were to be saved by merit, what hole in hell were hard enough for him?
Good morrow, then.
Oh, sweet Hal, what says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John Sack and Sugar? Jack, how agrees the devil of thee about thy soul that thou gavest him last Friday for a cup of Madeira?
Oh, Sir John stands to his word.
Tomorrow morning, early at Gad's Hill, there are pilgrims riding to Canterbury with rich offerings, and traders riding to London with fat purchases. Oh, I have visitors for you all. You have horses for yourself. We may do it as secure as sleep. Gad's Hill lies tonight in Rochester. I have bespoke supper tomorrow night in Eastcheap. If you go, I will stuff your purses full of crowns. If not, tarry home and be hanged.
Oh, hear ye, Edward. If I tarry at home and go not, I'll hang you for going.
You will chop.
Oh, how? Wilt thou make one? Who? I? Wrong? I, a thief? Not I, by my faith. There's neither honesty, manhood, nor good fellowship in thee. Nor thou camest not of the blood royal, if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings. Well, once in my days I'll be a madcap. Why, that's well said. Come on, Will, I'll tarry at home. Oh, by the Lord! Thou be a traitor then when thou art king. I care not.
Sir John, I prithee, leave the prince and me alone. I shall lay him down such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
Well, God give you the spirit of persuasion, and him the ears of profiting, that what thou sayest may be believed, and what he hears may move, that the true prince may, for recreation's sake, prove a false thief. Farewell. You shall find me in Eastcheap. Well, thou latter spring. Farewell, all hallowed summer.
Now, my good, sweet, honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Bardolph, Snow, and Gadshill will rob these men that you and I have already waiting. Yourself and I will not be there. And then, when they have the booty, if you and I do not rob them, then cut this head off from my shoulder.
How shall we part with them in setting forth?
Why, we shall set out before or after them, and appoint them a place of meeting, wherein it is at our pleasure to fail. And then, when they have the booty, if you and I do not, then when they have the booty, you and I will set upon them.
'Tis likely they will know us by our habits to be ourselves.
But our visitors will change when we go from them. And, sirrah, I have cases of buckram for the knots to amass our noted outward garments. The virtue of this jest will be in the incomprehensible lies that the same fat rogue will tell. How 30 of these two fought with, all he endured, and in the reproof of this lies the jest.
Well, I'll go with thee. Provide us all things necessary, and meet me tomorrow night in Eastcheap. There I'll sup.
Farewell, my lord.
Farewell. I know you all, and will, a while, uphold the unyoked humor of your idleness. Yet, herein will I imitate the sun, that doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at, by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to strangle him. If all the year were playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wished for come, and nothing pleaseth but rare accidents. So when this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised it, by how much better than my word I am, by so much shall I falsify men's hopes, and like bright metal on a sullen ground, my reformation, glittering o'er my faults, shall show more goodly and attract more eyes than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend, to make offense a skill, redeeming time when men think least, I will.
My blood hath been too cold and temperate, unapt to stir at these indignities. And you have found me, for accordingly you tread upon my patience. But be sure I will from henceforth rather be myself, mighty and to be feared, than my condition, which hath been smooth as oil, soft as young down, and therefore lost that title of respect that the proud soul ne'er pays but to the proud.
House, my sovereign liege, little deserves the scourge of greatness to be used on it. That same greatness too which our own hands have hoped to make so importantly.
Worcester, get thee gone, for I do see danger and disobedience in your eyes. Your presence is too bold and peremptory, and majesty might never yet endure the moody frontier of a servant brow. You have good leave to leave us. When we need your use and counsel, we shall send for you. You were about to speak.
Yea, my good lord. Those prisoners in your highness's name demanded, which Harry Percy here at Holden took, were, as he says, not with such strength denied as is delivered to your majesty. Either envy, therefore, or misprision is guilty of this fault, and not my son.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain bold, neat, and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, and his chin new reaped showed like a stubble land at harvest home. He was perfuming like a milliner, and twixt his finger and his thumb he held a pounced box, which ever and anon he gave his nose and took it away again, who therewith angry when it next came there, took it in snuff, and still he smiled and talked, and as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly, to bring a slovenly, unhandsome course betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holiday and lady terms he questioned me, amongst the rest demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. I then, all smarting with my wounds being cultivated, some pester for the popinjay out of my grief and my impatience, answered neglectingly, I know not what he should or he should not, for he made me mad to see him shine so brisk, and smell so sweet, and talk so like a waiting gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds, God save the mark, and telling me the softest thing on earth was parmaceti for an inward bruise, and but for these vile guns he would himself have been a soldier. This bald, unjointed chat of his, my lord, I answered indirectly as I said, and I beseech you, let not his report come current for an accusation betwixt my love and your high majesty.
The circumstance considered, good my lord, whate'er Lord Harry Percy then had said, may reasonably die, and if arise to do him wrong, or any way impeach what then he said, so he unsay it now.
But yet he doth deny his prisoners, but with proviso and exception, that we at our own charge shall ransom straight his brother-in-law, the foolish Mortimer, who by my soul hath willfully betrayed the lives of those that he did lead to fight against that great magician, damned Glendower, whose daughter, as we hear, the Earl of March hath lately married. Shall our coffers then be empty to redeem a traitor home? No, on the barren mountains let him starve, for I shall never call that man my friend, whose tongue shall ask me for 1 penny cost to ransom home revolted Mortimer.
Revolted Mortimer. He never did fall off, my sovereign liege, but by the chance of war, to prove that true, needs no more than 1 tongue for all those wounds, those mouthed wounds which valiantly he took, when on the gentle Severn sedgy bank, in single opposition, hand to hand, he did confound the best part of an hour in changing hardiment with great Glendower. Never did base and rotten policy color her working with such deadly wounds, nor could the noble Mortimer receive so many, and all willingly, then let not him be slandered with revolt.
Thou dost belie him, Percy. Thou dost belie him. He never did encounter with Glendower. Art thou not ashamed? But henceforth, let me not hear you speak of Mortimer. Send me your prisoners with the speediest means, or you will hear from me in such a kind as will displease you. My Lord Northumberland, we license your departure with your son. Send me your prisoners, or you will hear of it.
And if the devil come and send for them, I will not send them. I will answer straight and tell them so, for I will ease my heart, I'll be able to make a hazard of my head.
What? Drunk with choler? Stay. Pause a while, here comes your host.
Speak of Mortimer, soon I will speak of him. And let my soul want mercy if I do not join with him. Yea, on his part, I'll empty all these veins and shed my dear blood, drop by drop in the dust, but I will lift the downtrodden Mortimer as high in the air as this unthankful king, as this ingrate and cankered Bolingbroke.
Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
He will force have all my prisoners, and when I urged the ransom once again of my wife's brother, then his cheek looked pale, trembling even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him. Was he not proclaimed by Richard that dead is the next in blood?
He was. I heard the proclamation.
And for whose death to be in the world's wide mouth scandalized and foully spoken of.
Nay, I cannot blame his cousin king that wished him on the barren mountain starve. But shall it be that you that set the crown upon the head of this forgetful man, shall it be that you a world of curses undergo? Shall it for shame be spoken in these days, or fill up chronicles in times to come, that men of your nobility and power did gauge them both in an unjust behalf, to put down Richard, that sweet, lovely rose, and plant this thorn, this cankered Bolingbroke? No, yet time serves wherein you may redeem your banished honors and restore yourselves into the good thoughts of the world again. Revenge the jeering and disdained contempt of this proud king, who studies day and night to answer all the debt he owes to you, even with the bloody payments of your debts. Therefore, I say,
Peace, cousin. Say no more. And now I'll read you matter deep and dangerous, as full of peril and adventurous spirit as to o'erwalk a current roaring loud on the steadfast footing of spear.
if he fall in good night, or sink or swim, oh, the blood more stirs to rouse a lion than to start a hare.
Imagination of some great exploit drives him beyond the bounds of patience.
By heaven, methinks it were an easy leap to pluck bright honor from the pale-faced moon, or dive into the bottom of the deep, where fathom line could never touch the ground, and pluck up drowned honor by the locks, so he that doth redeem her thence might wear, without co-rival, all her dignities. But as long as half-faced fellowship,
Should cousin give me audience for a while?
I pray mercy.
Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners.
I'll keep them all. By God, he shall not have these Scott of them. I'll keep them by his head.
Start away and lend no ear unto my purposes. Those prisoners shall you keep.
Nay, I will. That's flat. He said he would not ransom Mortimer. Forbade my tongue to speak of Mortimer. But I will find him where he lies asleep, and in his ear I'll holler, Mortimer. Nay, on the starlight shall he talk to sleep. Nothing but Mortimer, and give it him to keep his anger still in motion.
Hear you, cousin, a word.
All studies here I solemnly defy, save how to gall and pinch this Bolingbroke, and that same sword and buckler, Prince of Wales. But then I think his father loves him not, and would be glad he met with some mischance, and have poisoned the pot of ale.
Farewell, Kinsman. I will speak to you in your better temper to attend.
Why? What a wasp stung An impatient fool art thou to break into this woman's mood, tying thy ear to no tongue but thine own.
Look you, I am whipped and scourged with rods, nettled and stung with pismires when I hear of this vile politician Bolingbroke. But uncle, tell your tale I have done.
Nay, you have not to it again. We will stay your leisure.
I have done with it, faith.
Then once more to your Scottish prisoners. Deliver them up without their ransom straight, and make the Douglas son your only means for powers in Scotland, which, for divers reasons which I shall send you written, be assured, will easily be granted. You, my lord, your son in Scotland being thus employed, shall secretly into the bosom creep of that same noble prelate well beloved, the Archbishop
Of yours, not?
True, who bears hard his brother's death at Bristol, the Lord's screw. I speak this not of estimation as what I think might be, but what I know is ruminated, plotted, and set down.
In faith, it is exceedingly well aimed.
Tis no little reason bids us speed, to save our heads by raising a head. Forbear ourselves even as we can, incapable always thinking in our debt. We think ourselves unsatisfied till he hath found a time to pay us home. And see how already he doth begin to make us strangers whose looks of love.
He does! We'll be revenged on him.
Cousin, farewell. No further go in this than I by letters. Shall direct your course.
Farewell, good brother. We shall thrive, I trust.
Uncle, adieu. Oh, let the hours be short, till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport.
Good morrow, Master Hester. It holds current that I told you yesterday. There's a prying within the wild cat hath brought with him 300 marks in gold. I heard him tell it to one of his company last night at supper. They are up already and call for eggs and butter. They will await presently.
Sirrah, they may not mistake Nicholas's clerks. I'll give thee this neck.
No, well, none of it. I pray thee keep that for the hangman.
What talkest thou to me of the hangman? Thy hang only got a fat pair of gallows. For thy hang, O Sir John can do. Thou knowest, he is no starveling. There are other children's to thou dreamest not of, which for sport's sake are content to do the professions of grace, but should, if matters be looked into, for their own credit's sake, make all whole. We stealers in a castle, cocksure, we have the receipt of currency. We welcome visible.
Nay, by my faith, I think you are more beholden to the night than to Fernseed here walking invisible.
Give me thy hand. Thou shalt have a share in our purchase, as I am a true man.
They rather let me keep it, as you are a false thief.
Go to. I was accommodating to all men. There was none of you.
I am accursed to rob in that thief's company. The rascal hath removed my horse, and tied him I know not where. break my wind. I doubt not, but to die a fair death for all this. If I escape hanging for killing that rogue, I have forsworn his company hourly, any time this 22 years, and yet I am bewitched with the rogue's company. If the rascal hath not given me medicines to make me love, then I'll be hanged. It could not be else. I've drunk medicine. Point! Help! A plague upon you both! Bottles! Peter! Thou starve and I'll run a foot further! 8 yards of uneven ground is 70 miles afoot with me. And the stony-hearted villains know it well enough. Oh, a plague upon it, when thieves cannot be true to one another. Give me my horse, you rogues! Give me my horse and be hanged! You pecknuts! Lie down. Lay thine ear close to the ground, unless if thou canst hear the tread of travelers. Have you any levers to lift me up again, being down? But a plague be ye to colt me thus. Thou liest, thou art not colted, thou art uncolted. Go hang thyself in thine own air-apparent garters. If I be ta'en no peace for this, I hate it. Stand! So I do against my will.
Oh, 'tis our setter, I know his voice. Bardock, what news?
Casey, on with your visitors. There's money for king's coming down the hill. She's going to the king's exchequer.
Well, you lie, you rogue. 'Tis going to the king's tavern.
They're about to make us all.
Sirs, you four shall front them in the narrow lane. Ned Poins and I will walk lower. If they escape from your encounter, then they lie on us.
How many be there of them?
Some 8 or 10.
Sir Jack, your horse stands behind the hedge. If thou needest him, there thou shalt find him. Farewell, stand fast.
Oh, now, my masters, every man to his business. no more valor in that poise than in a wild duck. So strongly that they dare not beat each other. Each takes his fellow for an officer.
part, my lord, I could be well contented to be, in respect of the love I bear your house. He could be contented. Why is he not then? In respect of the love he bears our house, he shows in this. He loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me see some more. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. Why, that's certain. 'Tis dangerous to take a cold, to sleep, to drink. But I tell you, my lord, fool, out of this net of danger, we pluck this flower of safety. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. The friends you have named uncertain. The time itself unsorted, and your whole plot too light for the counterpoise of such an opposition. Say you so. Say you so. I say unto you again, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. What a lack brain is this? By the Lord, our plot is a good plot, as ever was laid. Our friends true and constant, a good plot, good friends, and full of expectation. An excellent plot, very good friends. What a frosty-spirited rogue is this? And were I now by this rascal, I could wrangle with his latest fame. Is there not? My father, my uncle, and myself, Lord Edmund Mortimer, my Lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Is there not, besides the Douglas? And have I not all their letters to meet me in arms by the 9th of the next month? And are they not some of them set forward already? What a pagan rascal is this, an infidel! You shall see now, in very sincerity of fear and cold heart, will he to the king and lay open all our purposes. Oh, I could divide myself and go to thoughts for moving such a dish of skim milk with so honorable an action. Hey, let him tell the king we are prepared. I'll set forward tonight. Now, Keith, I must leave you within these 2 hours.
Oh, my good lord! Why are you thus alone? For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Tell me, sweet lord, what is it that takes from thee thy stomach, pleasure, and thy golden sleep? Why dost thou bend thine eyes upon the earth and start so often when thou sitt'st alone? Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks, and given my treasures and my rights of thee to thick-eyed musing and cursed melancholy? In thy faint slumbers I by thee have watched, and heard thee murmur tales of iron wars, speak terms of manage to your bounding steed, cry, courage to the field! And thou hast talked of prisoners' ransom and of soldiers slain, and all the currents of a heady fight. Thy spirit within me hath been so adored, and thou hast so bestirred thee in thy sleep, that beads of sweat have stood upon thy brow like bubbles in a late disturbed stream, and in thy face strange motions have appeared, such as we see when men restrain their breath on some great sudden quest. Oh, what portents are these? Some heavy business hath my lord in hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not.
Oh no! And Brother Brother's horses from the shed.
One horse, my lord, you brought even now.
What horse? A roan, a crop, is it not?
It is, my lord.
That roan should be my throne, or I will back him straight of Esperance. Bid Brother lead him forth into the park.
But hear me, my lord.
Oh, what sayest thou?
What is it carries you away?
Why, my horse, I love my horse.
Don't you mad-headed ape? In faith, I know your business, Harry, that I will. I fear my brother Mortimer doth stir about his title, and has sent for you to mind his enterprise. But if you go
So far afoot, I shall be weary, love.
Come, you parakeeto, answer me. In faith, will break thy little finger, Harry. If thou wilt not tell me all things true.
Away, you trifler. Love, I love thee not. I care not for with you. This is no world to play with mammoths and to tilt with lips. But we must have bloody noses and cracked crowns and pass them current to God be my horse!
Harry,
What sayest thou, Kate? What wouldst thou have with me?
do you not love me? Do you not indeed? Nay, tell me if you speak in jest or no.
Come, wilt thou see me ride? And when I am on horseback, I will swear I love thee infinitely. But hark you, Kate, I must not have you henceforth question me. Whither I must, and to conclude, this evening must I leave you, gentle Kate. I know you wise, but yet no farther wise than Harry Percy's wife. And for secrecy, no lady closer. For well I do believe thou wilt not utter what thou dost not know, and so far will I trust thee, gentle Kate.
How? So far?
Not an inch further. But hark you, Kate, whither I go, thither shall you go too. Today will I set forth, tomorrow shall this content you, Kate.
It must, of course.
Forsooth, 5 years and as much as 2.
Francis! 5 years? your white canvas doublet will sully. In Barbary, sir, it cannot come to so much. What?
Francis!
Away you go! Does not hear them call?
Francis!
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 Standest thou still and hear such a calling? Look to the guest within. My lord, my lord. Servants out half a dozen more at the door. Shall I let them in?
Let him alone a while and then answer the door. Points! Anon, sir! Falstaff and the rest of the thieves are at the door. Shall we be merry?
As merry as crickets, my lad. Harky, what is this coming back to a maiden just at the door? What's the issue?
I am now of all humors that have shown themselves humors since the old days of Goodman Adam to the present age of this pupil 12 o'clock at midnight. What is the clock, Francis? Anon, sir. I am not yet Hotspur's humor, the Hotspur of the North. He that kills me some 6 or 7 Dickens Scots at breakfast, washes his hands and says to his wife, "Fire upon this quiet life! I want work!"
Oh, my dear sweet Harry. How many hast thou killed today?
"My wrong horse and ranch," says he, and then answers, "Some 14, an hour after. A trifle. Call him Falstaff. I'll play Percy, and that damned brawn shall play Dame Mortimer, his wife. Call him Rid! Call him Tallow!"
Welcome, Jack. Where hast thou been?
A plague of all cowards, I say! And a vengeance, too! Give me a cup of sack, boy! A plague of all cowards! Is there no virtue extant? There is nothing but roguery to be found in villainous men. And yet, a coward is worse than a cup of sack with lime in it. Oh, a villainous coward! There live not 3 good men unhanged in England. And one of them is fat. Grows old. God help the wild, bad world, I say. I were a weaver. I could sing songs or anything. Plague of all cowards, still say I. How now, woolsack? What mutter you? A king's son. Oh, if I do not beat thee out of thy kingdom with a dagger of lath, I'll never wear hair on my face more. You, Prince of Wales. Why, thou poor son, wound man. What's the matter? Are not you a coward? Answer me to that. And points there.
Thou deep fat pot, did he call me a coward? My lord, I'll stand thee.
I call thee coward. I'll see thee damned ere I'll call thee coward. But I would give £1,000 I could run as fast as thou canst. You are straight enough in the shoulders. You care not who sees your back. Call you that backing of your friends? Oh, plague upon such backing! Give me them that will face me! Give me a cup of sack! I am wrong in my job today! A plague of all cowards, still say I. What's the matter? What's the matter? There be 4 of us here have taken £1,000 this day morning. Where is it, Jack? Where is it? Where is it? Take it from us it is! 100 They speak more or less than truth. They are villains and the sons of darkness.
Now speak, sirs, how was it?
We four set upon some dozen
16 at least, my lord.
and bound them. As we were sharing some 6 or 7 each men set upon.
What? Fought you with them all? All! I don't know what you call all, but if I fought not with 50 of them, I'm a bunch of radish. If there were not 2 or 3 and 50 upon poor old Jack, I am no two-legged creature.
Oh, pray God you have not murdered some of them.
Nay, that's past praying for. I have peppered 2 of them. 2, I am sure I have paid 2 rogues in buckram suits. I tell thee what, pal? If I tell thee a lie, spit in my face. Call me horse. Thou knowest my old wood, and here I lay, and thus I bore my point. 4 rogues in buckram let drive at me.
What? Thou saidst there were but 2 even now.
4, pal, I told thee 4.
You told me 4.
These 4 came all afront and mainly thrust at me. But I made me no more ado, but I took all their 7 points in my target. 4 even now.
In Buckram? Hi, 4 in Buckram.
7 by these hills, or I'm a villain else. Dost thou hear me, Hal?
Aye, and mark thee too, Jack.
Do so, for 'tis worth the listening to. Now, these 9 in buckram that I told thee of, so 2 more already. Their points being broken, began to give me ground. But I followed me close, and with a thought, 7 of the 11 I paid.
Oh, what? 11 buckram men drawn out of 2.
But, as the devil would have it, 3 misbegotten knaves in Kendall Green came at my back, and let drive at me. For it was so dark, Hal, thou couldst not see thy hand. Why, how couldst thou know these men in Kendall Green, when it was so dark, thou couldst not see thy hand?
Come, what sayest thou to this? Tell us your reason, Jack.
Come, your reason, Jack, your reason.
What? Upon compulsion, give you a reason upon compulsion. Oh, if reasons were as plentiful as blackberries, I would give no man a reason upon compulsion.
I'll be no more guilty of this sin. This sanguine coward, this bad killer, this horse-back breaker, this huge hill of flesh, what you start! Drive these fuckers, fools, prisoners!
Oh, for breath to utter what is like thee. Oh,
Breathe a while, and then do it again. And when thou hast silent thyself in base comparisons, hear me speak. But this,
Mark Jack.
we 2 saw you 4 set on 4 and bound them, and were masters of their wealth. Then we 2 set on you 4, a word outfaced you from your pride and habit, yea, and can show it to you here in the house. And Falstaff, you carried your guts away as nimbly, with as quick dexterity, and roared for mercy as ever I heard bull calf. What a slave art thou, to have thy sword as thou hast done, and then say 'twas in fight? What trick, what device, what starting hole canst thou now find out to hide thee from this open and apparent shame?
Come, Jack. What trick hast thou now?
my lord, I knew ye as well as he that made ye. What are you, my masters? Was it for me to kill the heir apparent? Should I turn upon running away. Oh, no more of that, pal, and I'll love us.
Please, my lord the prince.
How now, my lady, the hostess? Well, what's this?
My lord, there is a nobleman of the court at door would speak with you. He says he comes from your father.
What manner of man is he? What doth gravity out of his bed at midnight? Shall I give him his answer? Prithee. Do, Jack. Your faith, and I'll send him packing.
Now, sirs, by Our Lady, you fought fair. So did you, Bardolph. So did you, Peter. You are lions too. You ran away upon instinct. You will not touch the true prince, no fire.
Hey, I ran when I saw the others run.
Tell me now in earnest, how came Falstaff's word so packed?
Why, he mastered with his dagger, and said he would swear truth out of England, but he would make you believe it was done in fight, and persuaded us to do the like.
And to tickle our noses with spear grass to make them bleed it. Beslubber our garments with it and swear it was the blood of true men. Here comes Bearbone.
Here comes Lean the Jack. How now, my sweet creature of bombast? How long ago is it, Jack? Since thou sawest thine own knee?
My own knee? Why, when I was about thy years, Hal, I was not an eagle's talon in the waist. I could have crept into any alderman's thumb ring. A plague of sighing and grief blows a man up like a bladder. There's villainous news abroad. Here was Sir John Bracy from your father. You must to the court in the morning. That same mad fellow of the north, Percy, and he of Wales. Oh, what a plague call you him in?
Glendower.
Owen, the same. And his son-in-law Mortimer, and old Northumberland, and that sprightly Scot of Scots, Douglas, that runs a horseback up a hill perpendicular. He that rides at high speed and with his pistol kills a sparrow flying. You have hit it. So did he, never the sparrow. Well, he is there too. Worcester is stolen away tonight. My father's beard is turned white with the news. But tell me, Hal, art thou not horribly afraid? Thou, being heir apparent, could the world pick thee out 3 such enemies again as that fiend Douglas, that spirit Percy, and that devil Glendower? Art thou not horrible afeard? Doth not thy blood thrill? Not a whit, if faith. I lack some of thy instincts. Well, thou wilt be horribly chid tomorrow when thou comest to thy father. If thou love me, practice an answer. Do thou stand for my father and examine me on the particulars of my life. Shall I? Content! This chair shall be my seat. This dagger my scepter, and hey! This cushion my crown. Give me a cup of sack to make my eyes look red, that it may be thought I have wept, for I must speak in passion. Here is my leg, and here is my speech. Stand aside, nobility.
This is excellent sport and faith.
Weep not, sweet queen, for truly tears are vain.
The father, how he holds his countenance.
For God's sake, lords, convey my tristful queen, for tears do stop the floodgates of her
Oh, yes, he doth it as one of those harlotry players whose ever eyes.
Peace, good kind pup, peace, good tickle. yet youth, the more it is wasted, the sooner it wears. But thou art my son, I have partly thy mother's word, partly mine own opinion, but chiefly a villainous trick of thine eye and a foolish hanging of thy nether lip. If then thou be son to me, here lies the point. Why, being son to me, art thou so pointed at? Shall the son of England prove a thief, but take person? There is a thing, Harry, which thou hast often heard of, and it is known to many in this land by the name of pitch. This pitch, as ancient writers do report, doth defile, so doth the company thou keepest. For Harry, now I do not speak to thee in drink, but in tears, not in pleasure, but in passion, not in words only, but in woes of such. And yet, there is a virtuous gentleman whom I have often noted in thy company, but I know not his name.
What manner of man, and it like your majesty?
A good portly man! A cheerful look, a pleasing eye, and a most noble. His age, some 50. No! By a lady inclining to 80. And now I remember me. His name is Falstaff! If that man be loosely given, he deceiveth me. For Harry, I see virtue in his looks. Him keep with, the rest ban him. And tell me now, thou naughty varlet, where hast thou been this month? Thou speak like a king. Do thou stand for me, and I'll play my father. Depose me? Oh, if thou dost it half so gravely, so majestically, hang me up by the heels for a rabbit sucker. Well, here I am set, and here I stand, judge, my masters. Now, Harry, whence come you? My noble lord from East The reports I hear of thee are grievous. Sworn my lord, they're false! Thou, ungracious boy, henceforth ne'er look on me. Thou art violently carried away from the grace. There is a devil haunts thee, in the likeness of an old, fat man. A ton of man is thy companion. Therefore dost thou converse with this trunk of humor, this swollen parcel of dropsy, that huge bombard of sack, that stuffed cloak bag of guts, that roasted Manningtree ox with the pudding in his belly, that reverend vice, that grave iniquity, that father ruffian, that vanity in years. Wherein is he good? But to taste of sack and drink it. Wherein neat and cleanly? But to carve a capon and eat it. Wherein cunning? But in craft. Wherein crafty? But in villainy.
grace would take me with you.
Who means your grace?
That abominable, villainous, misleader of youth.
Oh, Falstaff, that old white-bearded Satan.
My lord, the man I know. I know thou dost. But to say I know more harm in him than in myself would to say more than I know. That he is old, the more the pity his white hairs do witness to it. But that he is, saving your reverence, the whoremaster, that I utterly deny. If sack and sugar be a fault, God help the wicked. If to be old and merry be a sin, many an old host I know is dead. If to be fat be to be hated, then Pharaoh's lean kine are to be loved. No, my good lord. Banish Peter. Banish Bardo. Banish Poise. But for sweet Jack Falstaff.
Oh.
Kind Jack Falstaff. True Jack. Valiant Jack Falstaff. And therefore more valiant, being as he is old Jack Falstaff. Banish not him thy Harry's company. Banish not him thy Harry's company. Banish plump Jack and banish all the world. I do. I will. Oh, Lord, the sheriff with the most monstrous watch at the door. Actually, wrong, play on the play. I have much to say in the behalf of that false guy. I the fiddle right in on a fiddlestick. What's the matter? Thou shalt hear me, Hal. Never call a true piece of gold a counterfeit. Thou art essentially mad without seeming so.
Get behind the earth. The rest walk up above.
Now, my masters, for a true face and a good conscience, both of which I have had, but their date is out, and therefore I'll hide me. Go, call in the sheriff. Now, good master sheriff, what is your will with me?
First, pardon me, my lord. A hue and cry have followed certain men to this house.
What then?
One of them is well known, my gracious lord. A gross, fat man.
Ah, the man I do assure you is not here, for I myself have at this time employed him. And, sheriff, I will engage my word to thee, that I will, by tomorrow dinner time, send him to answer thee or any man for anything he shall be charged withal. And so let me entreat you, leave this house.
I will, my lord. There are two gentlemen have in this robbery lost 300 marks.
It may be so. If he hath robbed these men, he shall be answerable. And so farewell.
Good night, my noble lord.
Fast asleep behind the arrows and snorting like a horse.
How hard he fetches breath! Oh, search his pockets.
different, more advantage. No, they'll let him sleep till day. All to the court in the morning. We must all to the wars, and thy place shall be honorable. I'll procure this fat rogue a charger foot. He would meet betimes in the morning, and so good morrow, sweetheart. Good morrow, good morrow. The tribes, the banks of England, Scotland, Wales, can hold me pace in deep experiments.
I think there's no man speaks better Welsh. All to dinner. Peace! Cousin Percy, you will make him mad.
I can call spirits from the vasty deep.
Why, so can I. Or so can any man. But do they come when you do call?
No more of this unprofitable chat.
Here's the map. Should we divide our right according to our threefold order taken?
The Archdeacon hath divided it into 3 limits, very equally. England from Trent to Severn hitherto, by south and east, is to my part assigned. All westward, Wales beyond the Severn shore, and all the fertile land within that bound to Owen Glendower. And dear cuz, to you the remnant northward lying off to Trent. And our indentures tripartite are drawn, which, being sealed interchangeably, this business tonight may execute. Tomorrow, cousin Percy, you and I, and my good Lord Worcester will set forth to meet your father in the Scottish power, as is appointed us at Shrewsbury. My father Glendower is not ready yet. Not shall we need his help these 14 days, but in that space you may have drawn together your tenants, friends, and neighboring gentlemen.
A shorter time shall send me to you, lords, and in my conduct shall your ladies come, from whom you now must steal and take no leave, for there will be a world of water shed upon the parting of your wives and you.
Methinks my moiety, north, from Burton here, in quantity equals not one of yours. See how this river comes me cranking in and cuts me from the best of all my land. I'll have the current in this place dammed up, and here the smug and silver Trent shall run in a new channel, fair and even.
Yea, but mark how he bears his course and runs me up with like advantage on the other side, gelding the opposed continent as much as it takes from you.
Yea, but a small charge will trench in here, and on this north side win this cape of land. And then he runs straight into it.
I'll have it so.
I'll not have it altered.
Let me not understand you, then speak it in Welsh.
I can speak English, Lord, as well as you, for I was trained up in the English court where, being but young, I framed to the harp many an English ditty, lovely well.
and gave the tongue a helpful ornament, a virtue that was never seen in you.
Mary, and I am glad of it with all my heart, for I had rather hear the dry wheel grate on the axle tree, and that would set my teeth nothing on edge, nothing so much as mincing poetry. Are the indentures drawn? Shall we be gone?
The moon shines fair. You may away by night. I'll haste the right room withal. Break with your wives your departure hence. I'm afraid my daughter will run mad. So much she doted on her Mortimer.
Fie, Cousin Percy, how you cross my thought. I cannot choose. Sometimes he angers me with telling me of the Moldman and the ant, of the dreamer Merlin and his prophecies, of the dragon and a finless fish, and such a deal of scandal stuff as puts me from my feet. I tell you what, he held me last night at least 9 hours in reckoning up the several devils' names that were his lackeys. I cried, and well, go to, but marked him not a word.
In faith, he is a worthy gentleman, exceedingly well read and profited in strange concealments, valiant as a lion and wondrous affable. Shall I tell you, cousin, he holds your temper in high respect. I warrant you that man is not alive might so have tempted him as you have done without the taste or danger of reproof. But do not use it oft, let me entreat.
In faith, my lord, you are too willful to me. And since your coming hither have done quite enough to put him beside his patience, you must needs learn, Lord, to amend his fault, though sometimes show greatness, courage, blood, and that's the dearest grace if I pursue. Yet oftentimes it doth present harsh rage, defect of manner, want of government, pride, haughtiness, opinion, and disdain, the least of which has annulment music men's hearts, and leaves behind a stain upon the beauty of all kinds besides, beguiling them of commendation.
Well, I am schooled. Good manners be your speed. Here come our wives, and let us take our leave.
This is the deadly spite that angers me. My wife can speak no English, I know Welsh.
My daughter weeps. She will not part with you. She'll be a soldier too. She'll to the wars.
Good father, tell her that she and my Aunt Percy will follow in your conduct speedily.
Mercedes, but he will harm here. He already amended our flu pifetnos. Heidegger Wilio, the Bretney. And Gareth and all the dear team. She is desperate here. A peevish, self-willed harlotry, one that no persuasion can do good upon.
I understand thy looks. That pretty Welsh which pours down from these swelling heavens, I am too perfect in. And but for shame in such a parley would I answer thee. I understand thy kisses, and that's a feeling disputation. But I will never be a true on love till I've learned thy language. For thy tongue makes Welsh as sweet as ditties highly penned, sung by a fair queen in a summer's bower.
Nay, if you melt, then she will run mad.
I am ignorance itself in this.
She bids you on the wanton rushes lay you down, and rest your gentle head upon her lap, and she will sing the song that pleaseth you, and on your eyelids crown the goddess sleep, charming your blood with a pleasing heaviness.
With all my heart I'll sit to hear her sing.
Sit!
Come,
too.
Not mine in good sooth.
Not yours in good sooth. Hark, you swear like a comfort maker's wife. Swear me, Kate, like a lady as thou art, a good mouth-filling oath, and lean in good sooth to velvet guards and Sunday citizens. Come, sing.
I will not sing.
Tis the best way to turn tailor or be redbreast teacher. And the indentures being drawn, all the way within these 2 hours, and so come in when you will.
Come, come, Lord Mortimer. You are as slow as hot Lord Percy is on fire to go. And as our book is drawn, we'll but seal and enter horse immediately.
With all my heart.
Lords, give us leave. The Prince of Wales and I must have some private conference, but be close at hand, for we shall presently have need of you. I know not whether God will have it so. For some displeasing service I have done, that in his secret doom, out of my blood, he'll breed revengement and a scourge for me. But thou dost, in thy passages of life, make me believe that thou art only marked for the hot vengeance and the rod of heaven to punish my mistreatings. Tell me else, could such inordinate and low desires, such barren pleasures, rude society, as thou art matched withal and grafted to, accompany the greatness of thy blood, and hold their level with thy princely heart?
So please your majesty, I would I could quit all offenses with as clear excuse, as well as I am doubtless I can purge myself of many I am charged with all. Yet such extenuation let me beg, as in reproof of many tales devised, which off the ear of greatness must needs hear, by smiling picnics and base newsmongers, I may, in some things true, wherein my youth hath wandered faulty and irregular, find pardon on my true submission.
God pardon me. Yet let me wonder, Harry, at thy affections, which do hold a flight, quite from the wing of all thy ancestors. Thy place in council thou hast rudely lost, which by thy younger brother is supplied. The hope and expectation of thy time is ruined, and the soul of every man prophetically doth forethink thy fall. Had I so lavish in my presence been, so common hackneyed in the eyes of men, opinion that did help me to the crown had still kept loyal to possession and left me in reputeless banishment. By being seldom seen, I could not stir, yet like a comet I was wondered at. That men would tell their children, this is he. Others would say, where? Which is Bolingbroke? And then I stole all courtesy from heaven and dressed myself with such humility that I did pluck allegiance from men's hearts, loud shouts and salutations from their mouths, even in the presence of the crowned king. Thus did I keep my person fresh and new, and won by rareness such solemnity. The skipping king, he ambled up and down with shallow gestures and rash babbled wits, soon kindled and soon burnt, carded his state, had his great name profaned with their scorns, gave his countenance against his name, to laugh and jiving boys and stand the push of every beardless, vain comparative. And in that very line, Harry, standeth thou. For thou hast lost thy princely privilege with vile participation. Not an eye, but is a weary, alive, common sight. Save mine, which hath desired to see thee more. Which now doth what I would not have it do make, blind itself with foolish tenderness.
I shall hereafter, my thrice gracious Lord, be more myself for all the world.
As thou art to this hour was Richard then, when I from France set foot at Ravensburg. And even as I was then is Percy now. For by my scepter and my soul to boot, he hath more worthy interest to the state than thou the shadow of succession. For of no right, nor color like to right, and being no more in debt to years than thou, leads ancient lords and reverend bishops on to bloody battles and to bruising arms. Thrice has this Hotspur, Mars in swaddling clothes, this infant warrior in his enterprises, discomfited great Douglas, tamed him once, enlarged him, and made a friend of him. To fill the mouth of deep defiance of and shake the peace and safety of our throne. And what say you to this? Percy, Northumberland, the Archbishop's Grace of York, Douglas, Mortimer, capitulate against us and are up. But wherefore do I tell these news to thee? Why, Harry, do I tell thee of my foes, which art my nearest and dearest enemy? Thou that art like enough, through vassal fear, base inclination, and the start of spleen, to fight against me, under Percy's pay, to show how much thou art degenerate.
Do not think so. You shall not find it so. And God forgive them that have so much swayed your majesty's good thoughts away from me. I will redeem all this on Percy's head, and in the closing of some glorious day, be bold to tell you that I am your son. When I shall wear a garment all of blood, and stain my favors in a bloody mask, which washed away shall scour my shame with it. And that shall be the day, whene'er it lights, that this same child of honor and renown and your unthought of Harry chance to meet, for every honor sitting on his throne will be multitudes. And on my head my shames redoubled, for the day will come when I shall make this northern youth exchange his glorious deeds for my indignities. And I shall hold him to so strict account that he shall render every glory up, yea, even the slightest worship of his time, or I will tear a reckoning from his heart. This in the name of God I promise you, which if he be pleased I shall perform. I do beseech your majesty may solve the long-grown wounds of my intemperance. If not, the end of life cancels all things, and I would die 100,000 deaths, ere break the smallest parcel of this.
100,000 rebels die in this. You shall have charge, and sovereign trust herein. I'm now with blood. Thy looks are full of speed.
So hath the business that I come to speak of. Lord Mortimer of Scotland hath sent word that Douglas and the English rebels met the 11th of this month at Shrewsbury. Mighty and a fearful head they be, it promises to be kept on every hand, has ever offered foul play in the state.
The Earl of Westmoreland sent forth today, with him my son, Lord John of Lancaster, for this advertisement is 5 days old. On Wednesday next you shall set forward. On Thursday, we ourselves will march. Our meeting is Bridgenorth. Our hands are full of business, but delay. Advantage beats in fact, while men delay.
you cannot live long. Why, there is it. Come, sing me a bawdy song. Make me merry.
Daisy, Daisy, I was virtuously given as a gentleman need be. Virtuous enough, swore little, diced not above 7 times the week. Went to a bawdy house once in a quarter of an hour. Paid money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times. Lived well and in good compass. And now I'm out of all order, out of all compass.
You are so fat. You must be out of all reasonable compass, Sir John.
Do thou amend thy face, and I'll amend my life. Thou art our admiral, thou bearest the lantern, thou art the knight of the burning lamp.
Why, Sir John, my face does you no harm.
Oh, no, I'll be smart. I make good use of it. I never see thy face, but I think upon hellfire and divas that lived in purple. For there he is in his robes, burning. If thou wert in any way given to virtue, I would swear by thy face. My oath should be, by this fire that's God's angel. Oh, thou art a perpetual triumph, an everlasting bonfire light. Thou hast saved me 1,000 marks in links and torches, walking with thee in the night twixt Tamburlaine and Tamburlaine. I have maintained that salamander of yours with fire any time this 32 years God reward me for.
But I would, my face ring your belly.
Oh, God of mercy, so should I be sure to be heartburned. How now, Dame Portland the hen, have you inquired yet who picked my pocket?
Why, Sir John? What do you think, Sir John? Do you think I keep thieves in my house? I have searched, I have inquired. So is my husband.
Oh, go to, you old woman, go.
Who, I? No, I defy thee. God's life, I was never called so in mine own house before.
Go to, I know you well enough.
No, Sir John, you do not know me, Sir John. I know you, Sir John. You owe me money, Sir John. At night we quarrel to Gallium. As I am a true woman, you owe money here besides for your diet and buy your things and money lent you, 4 and 20 pounds.
I'll not pay a guinea. Shall I not take my case in my name, but I shall have my pocket picked? I have lost a seal ring of my grandfather's worth 40 marks.
Oh, Jesu. I have heard the prince tell it, I know not how oft. That ring was a copper.
Oh, the prince is a jack, a sneaker. Splutney were here, I would cudgel him like a dog if he would say so.
My lord, I pray you hear me.
What sayest thou, Mrs. Quickly? Prithee, let her alone and listen to me. What sayest thou, Jack? The other night, I fell asleep here behind the arras and had my pocket picked. This house is turned bawdy house. They pick pockets. What didst thou lose, Jack? Wilt thou believe me, Hal? 3 or 4 bonds of 40 pounds apiece, and a seal ring of my grandfather. A trifle, some 8 penny matters.
So I told him, my lord, and I said, I heard your grace say so, and my lord, he speaks most vilely of me, like the foul-mouthed man as he is, and said he would cudgel you.
What? He did not.
There is neither faith, truth, nor womanhood in me else.
There's no more faith in thee than in the stewed prune. No more truth in thee than in a drawn fox. And as for womanhood,
I am an honest man's wife, and setting thy knighthood aside, thou art a knave to call me so.
or setting thy womanhood aside, thou art a beast to say otherwise.
Say the beast thou may vow.
What beast? Why, an otter. An otter, Sir John? Why not? Why, she's neither fish nor flesh. A man knows not where to have her.
Or any man knows where to have me.
Oh, thou sayest true, and he slanders thee I bite off?
Indeed, Sir John.
You said so.
Yea, if you said my ring was copper.
I say 'tis copper. Darest thou be as good as thy word now?
Why, how? Thou knowest, as thou art but man, I dare. But as thou art prince, I fear thee, as I fear the roaring of the lion's whelp.
There's no room for faith, truth, nor honesty in this bosom of thine. It is all filled up with guts and midriff. Charge an honest woman with thee in thy pocket, why thou war son, impudent, embossed rascal, if there were any other in thy pocket, but old tavern reckonings, memorandums of body houses, and one poor pennyworth of sugar candy. If I bargain for rich with any other but these, I am a villain, and yet you will not pocket up the wrong. Art thou not ashamed? You picked my pocket, and it appears so by the hostess, forgive me.
And thou shalt find me tractable to any honest reason. Nay, thou seest I am past fight still. Prithee be gone. Now, the news are quite loud for the robbery. How's that answer?
I must still be good angel to thee. The money is paid back. I am good friends with my father, and may do anything.
Rob me the exchequer, the first thing I'll do.
I will procure thee, Jack, a charge of foot.
I wouldn't have been a horse. For a fine thief of the age of 22 or thereabouts, I'm heinously unprovided.
Order.
Lord.
Go. Bear this letter to Lord John of Lancaster. To my brother, John. This, and to my Lord of Westminster. Go, feed out a horse. To horse. Jack, meet me tomorrow in the Temple Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There thou shalt know thy charge, and there receive money in order for the furniture. The land is burning. Percy stands on high, and either we or they must lower lie.
Rare words! Brave will! Hostess! A breakfast! Come! Oh, I could wish this tavern were my drum.
Well said, my noble Scot. If speaking truth in this fine age were not thought flattering, such attribution should the Douglas have, as not a soldier of this season's stamp should go so general courage through the world. By God, I cannot flatter. I do defy the tongues of soothers. But a braver place in my heart's love hath no man than yourself. They task me to my word. Approve me, Lord.
God, the King of honor, no man so potent breathes upon the ground without fear.
Do so and 'tis well. What letters hast thou there?
But these letters come from your father.
Letters from him? Why comes he not himself?
He cannot come, my lord. He is grievous sick. And at the time of my departure thence, he was much feared by his physician.
The stated time had been whole ere he by sickness had been visited.
Sick now? Droop now? This sickness doth infect the very lifeblood of our enterprise. Yet doth he give us bold advertisement that with our small conjunction we should on to see how fortune is disposed to us. For as he says, there is no quailing now, because the king is certainly possessed of all our purposes. What say you to it?
The father's sickness is a maim to us.
A perilous gash, a very limb lopped off. And yet, in faith, it is not. His present want seems more than we shall find him.
But yet I would your father had been here. The quality and hair of our attempt brooks no division. It will be thought by some, that know not why he is away,
that wisdom, loyalty, and mere dislike of our proceedings kept the Earl from hence. For well you know we of the offering silence, aloof from strict arbitrament. This absence of your fathers draws a curtain that shows the ignorant a kind of fear before not dreamt of.
You strain too far. I rather of his absence make this use. It lends a luster and more great opinion, a larger dare to our great enterprise than if the Earl were here. For men must think, if we, without his help, can make a head to push against a kingdom, with his help we shall o'erturn it topsy-turvy down. Yet all goes well, yet all our joints are whole.
As us can think, there's not such a word spoken in Scotland as this town of fear.
My cousin Vernon, welcome by my soul.
Pray God my news be worth a welcome, Lord. The Earl of Westmoreland, 7,000 strong, is marching hitherwards, with him Prince John.
No harm, what more?
And further I have learned the king himself in person is set forth, or hitherwards intended speedily, with strong and mighty preparation.
He shall be welcome too. Where is his son, the nimble-footed madcap Prince of Wales, and his comrades that dashed the world aside and bid it pass?
All furnished, all in arms, glittering in golden coats like images, as full of spirit as the month of May, and gorgeous as the sun at midsummer. I saw young Harry, gallantly armed, rise from the ground like feathered Mercury, and vaulted with such ease into his seat, as if an angel dropped down from the clouds to turn and wind fiery faces, and which the world with noble horsemen.
Noble! Let them come. They come like sacrifices in their drink. And to the fire-eyed maid of smoky war, all hot and bleeding, will we offer them. The mailed Mar shall on his altar sit, up to the ears in blood. I am on fire to hear this rich reprisal is so nigh, and yet not ours. Come, let me taste my horse, who is to bear me like a thunderbolt against the bosom of the Prince of Wales. Harry to Harry shall hot horse to horse meet, and ne'er part till one drop down a course. Oh, that Glendower were come.
There is more news. I learned in Worcester as I rode along, he cannot try his power these 14 days.
That's the worst tidings that I hear of yet.
Aye. By my life, there's frosty sound.
What may the kings hold back and reach unto?
To 30,000.
40, let it be. My father and Glendower being both away, the powers of us may serve so great a day. Come, let us take a muster speedily. Doomsday is near. Die all! Die never!
Not ashamed of my soldiers, I am South's girded. I have misused the king's press damnably. I have got, in exchange of 150 soldiers, 300 and odd pounds. I pressed me none but good yeomen's sons. Inquire me out contracted bachelors. Such a commodity of warm slaves has had us leave here the devil as a drum, with hearts in their bellies no bigger than pins' heads. And now,
of ensigns, corporals, lieutenants, gentlemen of companies, and slaves as ragged as Lazarus, and such as indeed were never soldiers, but discarded unjust serving men, younger sons to younger brothers, revolted tapsters, the tankers of a calm world and a long peace, 10 times more dishonorable ragged than an old decent ensign. A mad fellow met me on the way and told me I had unloaded all the gibbets and pressed the dead bodies. Now I have seen such scarecrows. Well, I'll not march through Coventry with them, that's flat. There's but a shirt and a half in all my company. And the half shirt is 2 napkins tacked together. That's all one. They'll find linen enough on every head. Hello, Jack! Wow! How that way? What a double the spelling, Mauritia. My good Lord of Westmoreland, I cry you mercy. I thought your honor had already been at Shrewsbury.
Faith, Sir John, it is more than time that I were there. You too. But my powers are there already. The king, I can tell you, looks for us all. And that's the way I'll run.
Taught never fear me. I am as vigilant as a cat to steal cream. I think to steal cream indeed, for thy theft has already made thee butter. Tell me, Jack, what spells are these that come after? Mine, Hal, mine. I did never see such pitiful rasping. Tut, tut, good enough to toss? Food for powder, food for powder. They'll fill the pit as well as better. Tush, man, mortal man, mortal man. So now make haste. Percy's already in the field.
What is the king at Kent? He is Sir John, and bears the same law.
Dull fighter and a keen guest.
conjure from the breast of civil peace such bold hostility, teaching the duties of an audacious cruelty. If that the king have any way your good deserts forgot, which he confesseth to be manifold, he bids you name your griefs, and in all speed you shall have your desires with interest, and pardon absolute, both for yourself and these herein misled by your suggestion. The king is kind. And well, we know the king knows at what time to promise, when to pay. My father and my uncle and myself did give him that same royalty he wears. And when he was not 6 and 20 strong, a poor, unminded outlaw sneaking home, my father gave him welcome to the shore. And when he heard him swear and vow to God, he came but to be Duke of Lancaster, with tears of innocency and terms of zeal. My father, in kind heart and pity moved, swore him assistance and performed it too. Now, when the lords and barons of the realm perceived Northumberland did lean to him, the Moor and rest came in with cap and knee, laid gifts before him, proffered him their oaths. He then, as greatness knows himself, steps me a little higher than his vow, cries out upon abuses, seems to weep over his country's wrongs, and by this face, this seeming brow of justice did he win the hearts of all that he did angle for.
I came not to hear
Then to the point. In short time after, he deposed the king, soon after that deprived him of his life, to make that were suffered, his kinsman March, who is, if every owner were well placed, indeed his king, to be engaged in ways, there without ransom to lie forfeited, disgraced me in my happy victor sought to entrap me by intelligence, raised my uncle from the council board, in rage, dismissed my father from the court, brought oath on oath, committed wrong on wrong, and in conclusion drove us to seek out this head of safety, and withal to pry into his title, the which we find too indirect for long continuance.
Shall I return this answer to the king?
Not so, Sir Walter. We'll withdraw a while, and in the morning early shall my uncle bring him our purposes. And so farewell.
I would you would accept grace and love.
And maybe so we shall.
Pray God you do.
Bloodily the sun begins to peer above yon vaulted hill. The day looks pale amidst his temperature.
The southern wind with its hollow whistling in the leaves foretells a tempest and a blustery day.
Then with the losers let him sympathize, for nothing can seem foul to those that win. How now, my lord of Worcester? 'Tis not well that you and I should meet upon such terms as now we meet. You have deceived our trust, and made us doff our easy robes of peace, to crush our old limbs in ungentle steel. This is not well, my lord. This is not well. What say you to it? Will you again unknit this churlish knot of all abhorred war, and move in that obedient orb again, where you did give a fair and natural light?
Hear me, my liege. For mine own part, I could be well content to entertain the lag end of my life with quiet hours. For I do protest, I have not sought the day of this dislike.
You have not sought it. How comes it then?
rebellion lay in his way and he found it.
Peace, John, peace. It pleased your majesty to turn your looks of love from myself and all our house. And yet, I must remember you, my lord. You were the first and dearest of your friends. For you, my staff of office, did I break in Richard's time. And yet you were placed in account nothing so strong and fortunate as I. It was myself, my brother, and his son that brought you home, and boldly did outdare the dangers of the time. You swore to us that you did nothing purpose against the state, nor claim no further than your new fallen right, the seat of God, dukedom of Lancaster. To this we swore our aid. But in short space it rained down fortune showering on your hand, and such a flood of greatness fell on you. What with our help? What with the absent king? What with the injuries of a wanton time? The seeming sufferances that you had borne, you took occasion to be quickly wooed to grip the general sway into your hand, which grew by our feeding to so great a bulk that even our love durst not come near your sight for fear of swallowing. But for safety's sake, we were enforced to fly and raise this present head, whereby we stand opposed by such means as you yourself have forged against yourself, with unkind usage, dangerous countenance,